So it is 1:02. Let's get going. Got quite a few folks in here. I know that your time is precious and valuable. Welcome back, everybody, in the supplier seller community for Walmart. And today's topic is about rich media, and what we also call enhanced media. It's actually saying how to use enhanced content to convert shoppers this holiday season. And enhanced content is what we have found. I mean, it's funny enough, as much as we do here in Spiderland, just the words, the terminologies that we use in our industry today can be almost just as much confusing as what we actually do and what needs to be done. And so we hear enhanced media along with A+ content, rich media. It's all kind of really the same thing. And what we're really talking about here is really that the more the rich content that is used, like videos, feature sets, comparison tables, etc., to further explain the story about an item. And so a few things that we're going to go through today regarding enhanced media is what constitutes excellent enhanced content for Walmart.com product page. Why does it work? What's the return? And talk about the return of the feature sets, the videos, and 360 spins to Walmart.com. And then how to get enhanced content on your product pages quickly and easily at Walmart, which we're always excited to show that as well. So to kick it off, I want to introduce our panelists today, including myself. My name is Eric Howerton, founder, chief growth officer with WhyteSpyder. And we have today with us Sergio Cruz. If you could quickly introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your background too, that I think is highly relevant for our audience as well today.
Yeah, of course. I'm Serge. I used to work at Walmart.com at the Hoboken office. I was originally on compact washers, dryers, and dishwashers. Super sort of niche category that not a lot of people know about. Moving into full-size appliances, which was great. After that, I moved onto a small team called .com Partners, basically consulting for brands that wanted to grow their business on Walmart.com. We joined forces with WhyteSpyder and then are now all part of the great essential family of brands.
Thank you, Serge. And I said Sergio in the beginning, which was what I always call you, but Serge is what you like to go by?
Oh yeah, it's, the G is tricky. My name is Sergio, which is like hard for people to get. And so I usually give people the spark notes. Serge, once you get to the G, you can leave the IO out. You can say Serge and I'll give you a break there.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I glad to figure that out on a webinar with a bunch of folks watching. So.
I didn't know that either, Eric. It's the first time I'm hearing that.
I'm glad you just submitted that, Zan. Speaking of Zan, who doesn't know how to pronounce his fellow colleagues' names, Zan, tell us about yourself.
Hey Eric. Zan Jones. I'm a director solutions specialist here at WhyteSpyder. So love to hear about kind of where everyone is at on their Walmart journey, and help provide some solutions with how the WhyteSpyder team can help solve those on Walmart.com.
Thank you, Zan. And thank goodness you didn't say I'll pronounce my name Zane.
People have told me that, and I will respond to it. I have some siblings that also have a Z name. So my mother, I think my entire life was just sounding out z, z, z. So if you get the Z sound, I will respond to that. So
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's kick it off. So, Sir, is it Serge or Sir?
Serge, you got it.
Serge, okay, sorry. All right, man. All right, I didn't want to keep watching this. All right, so Serge, tell us. Let's start out. Can you tell us what is actually constituting this excellent enhanced content, and the word excellent being the biggest part of that question, especially coming. What I like about asking you that is, as a Walmart merchant, like what would you see, right? And you being in the digital space for so long, love to get your opinion about what is constituting that excellent content.
Yeah, so we can take it back to sort of 2018 when I was working at the Walmart office. Something that we knew about as sort of good content was having images from various angles, having them on a white background, making sure the image wasn't pixelated, making sure it wasn't quality, making sure it was a quality image. Certainly that is incredibly important, but we saw that shift starting to happen in 2018, 2019, when customers were looking for a little bit more. because, you know, if they went in a store, they might see an ad or they might see the packaging and, you know, be further helped along on their shopper journey. So that's when things started to shift a little bit and people started talking about great content, A+ content, whatever you want to call it, where instead of just having the item, you know, photographed from a zillion different angles on a white background, you started to see that appliance in a home. You started seeing lifestyle imagery. You started seeing infographics that pointed out why this product was different from a competitor product. And that really started to change the landscape of Walmart.com, especially where people started to look at it as, okay, I can actually do not just buying, I can do shopping, I can browse, I can start exploring my options when looking for a particular product.
So if we kind of get into really the shopper, right, or the customer and what their experience is, can you tell us a little bit about, you know, how does that help them? You know, if we have that excellent enhanced content, how does that really help a shopper out?
Yeah, of course. I think as a shopper, it depends on really what you're buying, but in any time you're making a decision, you're going to have various options. And some of them are going to be better. Some of them are going to be worse for you in your particular situation, whether that's price or whether that's color, if you're shopping for a blouse or a shirt or shoes, whatever it may be. Enhanced content really helps the customer because it answers the question before they even have time to ask it in their head, before they have an option to think, oh, will this be, you know, a good TV for gaming? Does it have, you know, really good refresh rate? Are the pixels like really bright and brilliant? That is already shown in the lifestyle imagery, and it has a little tagline that says, great for gaming, or great for movies, great for whatever it may be. Answering those questions for the customer really helps them, you know, gain more, you know, knowledge about the product, but also your brand in general. You may have something in your enhanced content that alludes to the fact that not only do you have gaming monitors, you also have gaming headsets, you also have gaming microphones, basically things that are going to make this a whole experience. You're not just buying one thing now, you're buying the experience that this brand is able to offer you.
You know, and I would say that, you know, especially for sellers, we talk about marketplace sellers of Walmart. I mean, the rich enhanced content makes a lot of sense when it's a digital only shopping experience. But for 1P, first party suppliers, it's becoming even more important, especially at Walmart. That's why, you know, as we talk about enhanced content at Walmart, being able to tell that story, the significance of enhanced content, long form content on the product detail pages is, I mean, it's honestly accelerated and magnified at Walmart. And I just learned from some stats, some credible source as well, that's going to be coming out in the near future is, you know, since the pandemic, the Walmart shopper has really changed quite a bit. They're seeing that like 70% of the shopping behavior has changed there. And even though majority of purchases in the industry are still occurring in store, you know, 50% of Walmart shoppers are actually researching before they make a purchase in the store. So it doesn't matter if you have ice cream, you know, you're selling ice cream in Walmart stores, you know, to televisions. Having enhanced media and content available for that researching shopper at Walmart is absolutely paramount to the success of your business. And I know, Sergio, you also have some pretty decent stats about the conversion ratio, right? Like why, you know, how does best in class content actually help convert a shopper? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think we have those slides, if we could pull those up, just with some fast facts about Walmart shopper behavior. Amazing. Yeah, so this is some of the really great information that Eric was alluding to. So what's so important and what's so alluring to me about these stats is it shows that Walmart has turned that corner and really has become that omni-channel experience. With other retailers, you know, either the online is deficient or the brick and mortar stores don't exist. But for Walmart, you sort of have that whole ecosystem. So the first stat, 48% of Walmart shoppers researched their product and then bought it in store. That's incredible, simply because you know that half of the shoppers that are landing on your PDP are making the decision right then and there if they're going to go out to the store and buy it. And so you have to start thinking about, where is my basic content? How am I presenting myself to the customer? How does our brand look to that customer? And what's going to get them to actually go out and buy the product? Some of them vice versa. For our 1P suppliers who are on the call, this is incredibly important for you as well, because you may have a great in-store presence. You may have really, really great packaging. You might have an awesome price, but then when your customer goes online, they either can't find the product, it's not transactable, the content looks bad, and that may turn them off from the product. And they may go, oh, I saw that competitor product as well. Let me go and check out their online listing. 83% feel trustworthiness is an important feature for brand love. So really what we want to do as suppliers, we want to make sure that customers trust us. We want to make sure that they love our product and they're having a great experience, and that they keep on coming back, or, you know, they're recommending us to their friends because they've had a great experience. The PDP is really a place where you can start telling that story, whether it's through a video or a feature set. You can start talking about, you know, you can start talking about all the different accreditation that your product has. You know, if your product is approved by a panel that is important in your specific category or realm, it's going to be important to mention that and make an infographic where you're sort of flexing your muscles a little bit and saying, we are the one of 3 brands approved to sell this type of product. That's something that really, really builds that trustworthiness and turns a casual shopper into a repeat devoted customer. And then finally here, 21% shop on their mobile phone and then make the purchase on laptop and desktop. So if you're making that rich content, don't just make it for a web page, make it as close to a mobile phone as possible. Make sure it's in that nice 1-to-1 ratio. Make sure you're following Walmart's specifications for having mobile first imagery, knowing that, you know, I would imagine this stat is only going to keep increasing. The Walmart app always has new features coming out and really, really remarkable changes that are always rolling out on a constant basis. So this 21 number is 21 today, but, you know, it may be growing as we speak. It's something that I'm confident Walmart is going to keep pushing their mobile app and their mobile website to keep getting customers excited about shopping at Walmart.
Thanks, Sergio. And I'll tell you that one stat that I can confidently say is that I haven't met a Walmart merchant yet or buyer, right, that does not want to have better product pages than anywhere else, any competitive retailer that's out there. So as a seller or supplier, when you come to the table, right, and your product pages are missing videos and missing things of that nature, and their competitor, who we shall not name in this webinar, or their competitors, you know, they go look at those product pages, right, and they see better PDPs at their competitors, that's not ever going to be a helpful conversation. Wouldn't you agree?
100%. So like I said previously, I worked in a niche category where I would say 60% of Americans have never, more than that, 75% of Americans have never seen a countertop dishwasher. So if you're trying to sell one on Walmart.com and you don't have any helpful graphics or information or use cases, it's not going to be helpful for me as a merchant, because I can't sell this thing. And so the brands that I, you know, was excited to work with, the vendors that I was happy to, you know, help along their journey and development at Walmart, were the ones who invested in making educational, you know, material, one that was going to turn a customer into a buyer, somebody who was going to actually buy the product and you know, tell their friends about it. And so that's something that was, you know, top of mind for me in what I would call an education category. But even if you're selling, you know, candy bars, you want to make sure that your enhanced content is serving you. Everybody knows what a candy bar is, but they need to know why your brand is different. So regardless if you're an education category or one that is already established, you know, these are, you know, top of mind for merchants.
So Zan, we know that Walmart is now allowing more rich media back in the PDPs. There was a time period where they did not allow that. So
Yep.
Why were they begun to even begin with? What happened?
Yeah, so there was a technology changeover with Walmart. So again, kind of going back to that omni approach, Walmart, about a year ago made that transition, and they kind of took it back to basics, right? Let's get imagery, let's get titles, let's get everything on there, right? And as we progress, right now there are videos and Item 360 views. So they took it from let's start with A and let's build B, C, D, so on and so forth. So it really was a technology play. And as we see this built out, the site's continually growing and becoming better.
So, I mean, we got one question in that when we were just talking about those stats, which I think is relevant to what you're talking about, Zan. In the sense, I mean, okay, we all know Walmart's really busy, right? They're building the omni-channel retailer of the planet. That takes quite a bit of time. They typically do not invest or launch or do things that don't have a return on investment for them as Walmart. So I can say with confidence that them bringing rich media back into the system of their newly designed site, their omni site, that they see rich media as important for omni-channel shopping experience. And that goes across all categories, right? And so they're seeing, so this question we got right here, are these online growth driver data points specific to a certain type of category? And the answer is it's not really specific to a certain category. What we're seeing is like kind of a global perspective with across multiple categories. Correct, Sergio?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, I don't know if we have that second slide as well, if we could pull that up. One thing that I think when you think about enhanced content, there's sort of another narrative going on underneath that we aren't talking about a lot. And what it is how much shopping is happening on social media, how much social media is becoming a major pillar in how we think about e-commerce. And so nestled in this whole conversation about enhanced content, mobile first, is that people are using these devices to get a lot of their information, whether it's Instagram or TikTok. They're going on, they're watching a 30-second video and trying to get all the information that they need from a particular product. And that's not specific to any category. This is from hardware to dairy products to oat milk. People are, going in and they're getting all of the information necessary from their social media, their apps. The play here with getting enhanced content up and running again is to assimilate that experience as much as possible to as effortless as it is to browse on social media. That experience should be replicated over here when you're shopping on Walmart. And so I think that is something to answer the question. That is not specific to category. And I think the more you see enhanced content on site, the more customers are going to be excited to come to your page and spend more and more time on your page.
Well, what we've seen, I mean, kind of to that point, as technology increased, I mean, it's just the same thing with omni-channel retailer, right? The Walmart's reacting to customers and shoppers that are having a new way to shop, which is faster, it's more convenient. It's all about convenience. So the same thing can be said with enhanced content, like watching a video as a customer or shopper. It's easier to absorb a lot of information in a short amount of time if I can watch a video and see it, live it, hear it, understand it, rather than reading a lot of text, right? Or depending upon other advertisements or whatever it might be. Same thing with the feature sets, right? Feature sets should be able to tell you quickly a story that with visual images, and then your 360 views allows me to conveniently spin a product and see all angles of that product. If I can have that experience on a PDP, as we talked about before, going in store, researching online, I'm trying to make a good decision about an investment I'm about to make with a product. That is the absolute opportunity as a seller or supplier to ensure that story is communicated very conveniently to that shopper. I mean, the more tech we have, the less time it seems that we have, but we're actually absorbing more information. So rich media enhanced content really closes that deal at that very moment. And so when we talk about it, helping the shopper learn more about the items, what does the return mean for suppliers, Sergio? Like, is there mean, do we expect to have, any growth in sales?
Yes, I would imagine there is a ton of growth in sales, and this is only going to keep compounding as you introduce more and more media and more enhanced content to the page. But then there's sort of the intangibles that you can't really put into dollars and cents. One is, that customer may not buy that product today. If you're selling a $400 product, they may not buy it today. They may take, 6 months to think about it. But then when they do come back, they are thinking about your product first. They have associated your brand with a really good experience in that category where they're trying to make a high purchase, high profile purchase investment in their, in their life. And so that is sort of an intangible in the moment. You sort of can't say they saw this video today and then they converted, the next day. It may be, months and months down the line, or they may even, refer a friend and they may say, I saw this great PDP on Walmart. I saw a great video. I'm going to share it with you. It transfers over, maybe not to that particular customer, but it gets out to other potential buyers. And then the other intangible, we touched on it earlier, is really showing your merchant at Walmart that you're investing in the vision, that you are, a supplier who can be trusted to move with all the different developments in e-commerce and be, that go-to supplier for them, that if they see and anticipate a change or an innovation, they're going to want to partner with you first. And that's really something you can't put a dollar sign on.
Yeah, and I think that, when we look at the convenience needed and demanded actually by customer shoppers today, Walmart is actually providing, as fast and as dynamic as it can, an experience on the PDP, keeping the assets, getting the images and all the content on the website light enough to where it loads quickly, I would say is probably the primary responsibility of a retailer in today's omni-channel ecosystem. Not to mention their apps, right? And that there's inventory match going on the back end. There's just a tremendous amount of sophistication and complication that Walmart is going through to create a legitimate, fail-proof omni-channel experience, right? And we're in the midst of this, and with the pandemic, it expedited the expectations of customers to be able to simply go on the app. They can see the stock amount, they can order it for pickup, or if they're actually in store, that they know it's right there, they can purchase it, be able to navigate to the aisles. I mean, there's so much going on. And so in order for the shopper to have a true convenient retail, omni-channel retail experience, the retailer has a high amount of responsibility. And then I'd say next in line are the suppliers and sellers, which is kind of what's the responsibility of the supplier and seller, is to provide that information about that specific product so that it can go into the Walmart catalog and it can create that convenient experience. And so I'm saying all this because who is going to actually provide this content so that when that shopper is trying to make that decision, that he or she knows that particular product is exactly what I want, right? And so, but when you look at that on the seller supplier side, it will take time to create a video. It will take time to shoot 24 pictures of your product so you can create a 360 spin. It will take time to create banners and text and all that type of stuff to create a feature set within Walmart. And we know that today that Walmart is allowing 360 spins back in Rich Media. We know that they're allowing videos, and they just soon here recently have allowed feature sets to come back involved. But the cool thing, Zan, honestly, and where I'm trying to get to this is that it might take a seller supplier a good investment to create this content. But in order to upload that and get it on the product page, it actually does not, in all honesty, it does not take that much time or effort. And so, Zan, can you show us a little bit about what that experience looks like? If I'm a seller supplier and I have these images and these videos and I'm wanting to put on my product detail page to get that higher level of conversion and answer those questions from that shopper, how easy is it to do that?
Eric, it's super easy. And I just want to make sure you guys can see my screen. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you, I saw some familiar names. on the call. We kind of have a saying at the office that it's easy enough I can do it. I truly believe if I got my 11-year-old nephew in here, he could probably figure out how to do this. To Eric's point, there's definitely an investment in time to make sure that you have the assets internally. But once you have those assets, publishing them to the site, we make that super easy. So right now, you guys are looking at our SKU Ninja software. I'm going to kind of show you how I got here. I just went to the content and the rich media content management system. It's as simple as adding a new module. That's kind of how we talk about them, modules. I'm going to show you guys a feature set first and show you how quickly you can build that out. Kind of as Sergio and Eric both talked about, every single category is kind of different. You might have a different brand story or a super detailed item you want to get into. That's going to depend on each supplier. So I first have to start out by selecting which item I want to make a feature set against. So I went ahead and selected a Caesar dressing. I'm just going to go ahead and name this a test. And I'm going to select the feature set document here. It gives some examples there, which is super helpful to see. I'm going to go to next and actually make the feature set. Okay. There's also a super helpful tour as well. I'm not going to do that, but if you guys never ever need any help, we provide that self-guided. You guys have any questions, we're obviously here to help. But we also have, if you have no idea what you want to do, we have some templates. You can also create one from scratch, which is what I'm going to do. So we're just going to go ahead and get in here and show you how quickly this can be done. This helps cover text. This helps cover videos, imagery, and I'll show you exactly how quick we can do this. So I'm going to put an image first right here. I'm going to go ahead and kind of give a branding image of Newman's. Something else our tool helps do extremely well is we help resize it to the right size that fits on the Walmart PDP. So you could see it's a little bit too big.
Hey, Zan, so real quickly, what you did was you, just like any kind of software, right? You selected the asset, you already have a folder on your desktop, or it could be in a cloud folder.
Yep.
You're able to just select that and then just and choose that image, and then the system allows you to resize that.
That's
like,
exactly right. You can also click and drag. Maybe if you had some multiple monitors going on, that'd be easier for you. For me, it's easier to go into the folder, but you most certainly could click or drag or just go into where you have all those assets, which is what I'm doing here. So I'm just trying to build that brand story right now for Newman's. They're a charitable organization, so I want to make sure that whenever someone is checking out with this item, they are aware of that. So we're just kind of informing the shopper of that. Maybe someone's new coming over, they're not aware of what that mission is, so we want to build that story. However, this is also a Caesar dressing, so we want to show some additional product shots of that. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now, add some additional images. I also believe if you've done all this work and you've gotten someone to land on your PDP, this could be a potential opportunity to sell them on maybe a like item you have. So we're actually going to go ahead and put some additional images here of some of their Greek and Italian dressings. Excuse me. Get them up here.
It's kind of like you're building, you can build like, I mean, even though comparison charts, we have another question, when is Walmart going to allow more rich media other than 360 and videos? So number one, they're allowing feature sets, which is what we're doing right now. They used to allow comparison charts, but Zane, you're actually pretty well creating a comparison chart within your feature set. That's what's really cool about the feature set. And that's kind of big news.
Right.
You can literally almost create what we call an A+ page, what a lot of folks experience on other retailers, where you're going through, you're adding images, you can add text, you can add copy, you can create this comparison table look that you have going on, and not now you're adding a video.
I am adding a video now. You have to apply thumbnail and title, but I do think there are, and we'll go over this in a minute, but there are suppliers that are kind of using the imagery to show a comparison table, which you most certainly can do. I think it's a great use of it right now. Again, you have the customer interested in your brand and an item. Maybe you have an item that is a better fit for them. It could be an upsell, it could be a horizontal, vertical set, whatever. You have them interested. Let's make sure that you're fitting them with that right type of item.
Yep.
So right now we've kind of covered some imagery. We covered some videos. I'm going to put one more video in here real quick, just that talks a little bit more about the Newman's own kind of charitable venture they have going on. Let me put this video in here.
So, I mean, this is what I would call, Sergio, kind of back to what we were talking about earlier. Let's say you have a customer out there that's, I'm literally trying to get salad dressing. I'm trying to make a decision. What's this about? There's a story behind Newman's Own that's charitable, right? That could be a huge impact, and be able to watch these videos to quickly absorb this brand story. I mean, the product detail page, I often say, is the ultimate final landing page of all outgoing marketing efforts. So whether you're Newman's Own, and I've created this big glorious website, and I've been doing all this social media advertising, I'm doing TV ads, but now you have this shopper at this last moment of decision that I want to purchase a product. I need to learn more about it. Go to the PDP, and herein lies all this content available to me to make me go over that threshold of confident purchasing decision. It is so imperative to have this.
Yeah, and I mean, look at what Zan is making a recipe in here. So that's not something, I think a long time ago, you may have been able to put a recipe into Walmart, but you can get just so creative with it. I mean, yesterday I was making a bunch of feature sets, and I'm saying this as a guy, not as an employee. I think it's so much fun to make what Zan is doing right now. It's so much fun, so easy to work in this tool, and you're able to get so creative. You're able to communicate so much with the customer that by putting a recipe in there, it's like, we know you're going to buy it. Here's how you're going to use it. You're even one step ahead of them. It's a really, really great system that we've got here.
Yeah, and what Zan's doing, I see you clicking in your Dragon boxes, right? So you can start out with the design, and then you're deciding to make changes here to where, okay, I want that to be at the top. And literally, it's that easy. You're clicking and dragging.
And guys, I'm done. I created it. You can actually preview that within our software, and you can see what it would look like. I hit play here. I'm going to exit out of it though. But I can make all of those changes right here. Again, I can click and drag things, move them around exactly as I wanted. If I wanted them all cattywomp, I could most certainly do that. But I want to try to keep it as clean as possible. And again, you've made these updates, you save it, and then you hit this green button, publish, and then we do our thing on the back end and help get it published to the site.
Getting it published to the site too. Like there's, with all technology software, we've all used it. There could be some hindrances as far as getting published or syndication, whatever it might be. But what I think is very important about this content creation syndication is to ensure the publishing there. Our system is actually going back and checking to see if it's live every single day. It's pinging it. If it doesn't, it reports the issue. You as a supplier seller, you don't have to keep checking in. Our system's checking in and making sure that it's getting syndicated every time.
So that's feature sets, Eric. We talked item 360 as well. I want to show how easy that is as well. It'll be even quicker.
So you meant 360 view. 360 view, not item 360.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. So again, I'm going to go to our rich media content management system here. I'm going to add a new module just like I did before. I'm going to pick an item just like I did prior to. I'm going to select item 360. Again, we're giving you some previews there. I need to name it.
360 view.
Shoot. Thank you, Eric. I'm just going to stop together.
I just don't want people to get confused.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah.
I go to next, and again, we're offering that help as you guys. If you need it, great. If not, we can keep moving here. But I'm going to, just like I did before, I'm going to click. I could click and drag, but I already have this kind of ready here. You'll see this is not actually a Caesar dressing. This is actually another item that we have uploaded. It's a paint sprayer. So super detailed item here. If I was in store looking at this item, there's probably something in this feature, how it plugs in, how long do I think the cable is, or the cord that
The hose
to the actual paint sprayer, the hose. Thank you. That would be super good information as I'm sitting there in store or looking to buy online to have. Again, it's as easy as previewing. I can see it here. I can hit play and I can see all the angles of the images I just uploaded. I can hit save and then hit publish. And just like Eric said, we're going to be checking that for you, making sure it gets published on your behalf.
Yeah,
It's not easy.
I want to point out too, so when Walmart quit doing its rich media for the last year, because it changed its website basically from a .com to an omni experience. The first ones they brought back were videos. Then they brought 360 views. That should tell us all something as suppliers and sellers, that those are the most important. And another thing is that they live, Serge, they do live at the top of the page still, right? Where you can click that icon and see those videos in 360s.
Yeah, exactly. So there'll be a little bubble under each respective hero image that'll display this.
Yeah, and so Zan, the feature sets that you showed previous, so they'll see these 360 spin icon and the videos. So when you add those, I mean, we're talking about above the fold rich media experience, which is huge, right? And then the feature sets you showed earlier, that's below the fold. So the user scrolls down as they're wanting to learn more information about it, they can go in and see that.
Yeah, and we actually do have one more example that someone made in our software that I kind of wanted to show that I think is just absolutely great. It's this item, the Flexio 5000, and they use our software to build this out completely. They use imagery, they use text, they kind of used it all, and this is one of those items where it's pretty detailed, and shoppers probably have questions. Can I put? Do I have to thin out my paint? What kind of applications is this good for? This below the fold content is answering a lot of those questions and showing a lot of the use cases. And hey, they're also showing a comparison table here that's showing, hey, that's what this is good for. This is what this item's good for. Is this fitting what you're needing? I mean, this is just great.
So I'm getting some questions from the audience, and rightfully so, about, we're showing SKU Ninja. It's a WhyteSpyder tool that we built specifically dedicated to Walmart. We don't do any other retailers within our system. Now, there are other providers, obviously, that are out there that provide content syndication. Where they're at with this, I'm not completely sure. We do know that Walmart is allowing the rich media. So if you're using another platform, are they publishing the rich media, the videos, 360s, and feature sets? I couldn't answer that question. All I know is that we're hearing what Walmart's allowing, and we make sure that we do that. Of course, but we're also highly focused on Walmart. So I mean, it's when you're laser focused on something, you kind of just keep going at it. I'm not even sure. I know Item 360 does allow some video upload. I can't speak much to that other than the fact that our system, because we're software engineers and service experts here for Walmart, we're usually, make the experience a lot easier and user friendly, or for suppliers and sellers to get their stuff on. And another question we have was that, are they allowing Marketplace to add the enhanced content? Serge, I'll let you answer that as well, because I know you have worked quite a bit on that Marketplace side.
Yeah, through our tool, you should be able to publish for those Marketplace accounts. Really, that whole service offering as a Marketplace seller on Walmart.com, there are so many new developments happening every day, and rich media is just one of them, where they're really trying to make you feel part of the Walmart ecosystem and give you every tool that would be available through a 1P relationship.
Yeah, and we had another question too. Are the stats that we shared earlier Walmart specific? Yes, they are. For the ones we shared, we also have quite a bit that are more industry specific. Meaning, the question I know that every supplier and seller wants to know: if I add a video, will it gain 5 more additional sales from a product? If I add feature set, how will that impact? That's a question I think that Walmart would even like to know, because we have been asked by them about that, right? Everybody's looking for that magic stat. But when you even look at industry stats, what you really need to look at is like user shopper behavior, and that they are consuming more video content. They would rather see that. Like when you look at these major companies, they're not making mistakes like Google purchasing YouTube. That should be a really keen indication that the world's smartest robot that's out there being used by the most people on the planet has purchased a video technology environment. For what reason? Because they see people using that content. When you start getting into a lot of this stuff, and even Walmart, I mean, there's secret sauce behind a lot of these things. It's why we're not able to get our hands on these types of things and these stats, because it's just so proprietary. But we do know that video advertising makes a big impact. We know that Walmart is looking into that as well. I mean, video is being consumed by customers. And you yourselves even, we love watching Netflix and and YouTube and all those types of things because it's easy for us to make decisions. It's easy to absorb the information. Content is king. Don't ever forget about that. That's all we're talking about. And being able to absorb and ingest that content to make a good decision, whether I'm making a $1 purchase to a $100 purchase, that content is making a difference. So at the end of the day, my statement is, after working in this industry for over a decade, I can confidently tell you that rich media assets, more content, the better, the more qualitative content that you can have to explain your product, tell that story. Your product detail page at the world's largest omnichannel retailer should be the ultimate library about a specific product. You should have more there than you have on your direct to consumer website or your own brand website. Why do I say that? Because Walmart is one of the largest retailers in the world, is attracting an audience that it will be difficult to ever compete with from a exposure level. And we do know algorithms favor. Now, does it count a lot if you have a video to rise you up in the ranks? Not necessarily, but every little bit counts when you're in that competitive standpoint. And we know that Google loves videos. It loves content. So it's looking at the pages, counting quantitatively what that is. And at the end of the day, you as a shopper, you can understand the more content you have about a product, the more you're going to be apt to buy that. So it's like, I would just live in this new technologically advanced world, in this content infused world, understand where the shoppers are going through, make their life easier. They're going to find this page, they're going to research it, and they're trying to make a decision to purchase. You want to not miss that opportunity as a seller supplier. So with all that being said, we do have clients from all across the world that are literally coming in. They just want to add a video to their product page. That's great. So let's say that you understand the value of adding more content. The next issue you might have as a seller supplier is, okay, I just want to get a video up on my PDP. That's what's also really cool about how we kind of made this, where maybe if you're using other systems or partners, it might be a little difficult to get into that. They want to count the number of PDPs that you have, send you a quote, do this huge contract in order to just get videos. That's not the case. We basically e-commerce in a way. We used to say that a lot with our rich media tool. Zane, take me on a quick tour, because it's valuable for people that are watching. If you're sitting here going, okay, I've heard this whole webinar, I just want to add a video.
Sure.
You can literally do that within 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's quicker than 30 minutes. Yeah, no doubt.
Let's say you're not subscribed. You don't even know
yeah.
who, you don't even know who Zan or WhyteSpyder is.
Yep.
You can go to WhyteSpyder, right?
Absolutely. So head to our website, WhyteSpyder.com. We'll go to the platform. We want to check out the software. And then right here, this big green button is enhanced content. We can go ahead and add video hosting. We could have feature sets, item 360 views, 360 views. And we're going to go to the cart. Here it is right here. You go ahead and check out. You enter your billing information. We'll be reaching out to you guys to give you guys access. It's $5 per module, as you guys can see here. If I up or down this, the price is going up or down. So for $5 per module, you guys can have great Walmart content. And to Eric's point, he talked about some competitive analysis. Kind of the way I think about this is it's a sports analogy, but you get a 1% advantage over your competitor in sports, you'll absolutely take that. I think a rich media, A+ content, below the fold content, however you want to say it, is really that from a business perspective. There's no reason not to be doing it to give you any sort of advantage.
Just got a question I love. I've heard this quite a bit. Is there any one type of enhanced content that's more effective than the others? And we're sitting here looking at this checkout page. And I would say if you're going to do anything first, I would get video up on there first. It's going to cost you $5. It's the asset that we see Walmart using most of the time for its own private label products. It was the first asset allowed back in. It's at the very top of your fold. It's simple and easy to use for customers to kind of understand your product. It doesn't take much time at all to do, especially if you already have a lot of these things sitting in YouTube or in a bank somewhere. I mean, even if you just have a video about your brand story, which might not have anything to do with that product, which I wouldn't say is best practice, but it is some practice. You would be surprised, like kind of Sergio's point earlier, right? When Zan was designing that feature set for Newman's Own, and there's this brand story about helping charities with their profits. That could be all that's needed to convert. You could strike something, or I'll tell you something else that I love, right? And we all can experience this. I get a little excited about this now. If I'm out researching a product and I look at your product versus a competitor product, and I see that you have a video, and I promise you I've done this personally, and it's also, there's the statistics out there about it. The fact that you even have a video tells me and gives me more confidence about your company and about your care and concern about your products, and that you're invested in your products. And so I might just buy just because of the fact that you have a video. That means that you're present and you're actually a bona fide company. If I see bare bones and nothing there and whatever it might be on your competitor, I'll be like, I don't even trust to buy them. Because if I have a problem, I can't get a hold of anybody. Right? And so just having assets instills confidence in the purchasing decision.
No doubt.
So again, $5 per module per month, right? You can literally come in and spend $5. It's cheaper than a cup of, I know for at least my daughters, my 15, 16, and 17-year-old daughters, it's cheaper than their drinks that they go to coffee shops with. You can have a module, and that includes a feature set with videos, text, and everything that Zan showed. That's only $5. We're not charging per video or asset in there. Just $5 to do the feature set, or $5 to do the video, or $360. And that's all you have to do. You can click $5 and spend it for the month and then exit out if you don't like it. There's no contract to it. We only bill on what's being published. It's just a completely no risk situation for you. And you can do it across the globe, right? And you can do it for 1P and 3P or marketplace and first party suppliers at Walmart. So there's really no risk. All the benefits and values that Zan talked about and that Serge talked about for a customer experience. And not to mention, I know that everybody on this call, if you're selling to Walmart, you want their merchant to tell you great job and your product pages look good. I would say $5, heck, even $15 per product detail page is going to be absolutely worth that conversation. And I can tell you, and Serge back me up on this, right? You too, Zan. Merchants are humans. They go to your product page and they see pictures and videos and feature sets and great titles and descriptions. And then they go to your direct to consumer page or your competitor to Walmart page, and they see that your page on Walmart is better than all of that and is chock full of great information for their customer. They're gonna be like, thank you for being a really great supplier, because you just took a lot of pain off my plate, time off my plate, plus you're making me look good, and you're helping our customers make good decisions. Am I right or wrong?
I agree.
I would say that is the biggest thing, is like when they need to do their quarterly business review and talk to their boss about what they've been up to and what their brands, how their brands are presenting themselves, who is going to get screenshotted, you or your competitor? You're going to want to hope it's you with that video, with great content, infographics, and recipes. You want to make sure you're the one showing up in front of Walmart leadership.
There's literally, I am struggling, honestly, everybody on this call, I struggle all the time as to why not to do it. I mean, yes, it takes time to create those assets, but I mean, in a lot of cases I've seen, those assets are already available, especially if you've been in business for longer than a year, right? Somebody has done a social media campaign or designed a flyer, or maybe even have a pitch deck that you're going to investors with that have good pictures and content related to your products. It's there and available. That's the most, but that statement, my perspective on that is that if you have to get that organized and have your catalog and have that stuff available in order to really do great merchandising in this omni-channel space that we're in today. And that will not go anywhere. That's going to continue to accelerate. Last question, one last question we have. We have a few more minutes here, but we have another one. Are we able to build before we purchase? This way they can see what the page looks like and know what elements to include. So when actually you check out, when Zan showed that you're $5, we actually do not even bill you or charge you until 30 days after, right, Zan? And that's after that it's been
Until it's live.
Until it's after 30 days after it's live. So yes, you'll be required to put in your payment information, but you're actually not going to be charged until 30 days after that module is live. And so yeah, you're pretty well risk free there. All right, we got some more time for any more questions. Anybody wants to throw anything out? I'd be happy to answer. Give it another minute or so. We still got our audience out here. Zan, Sergio, while we're waiting on any more questions, you guys, anything you want to add?
It looks like somebody wanted to see a sample that can be viewed as a complete product. If maybe, Zan, you don't want to pull up like a preview of that really great Wagner item, just so they can see what it all looks like together. I don't know if they joined a little bit late, but just so we get that back up on the screen.
Yeah, let me pull that back up.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love what Wagner did with their stuff. I mean, it's complicated product that, I mean, it's all they're trying to answer every known question that they can about the product. I mean, so let's, hey, you know, as a supplier manufacturer to this, it's kind of like your Q&As, right?
Absolutely. That's exactly.
FAQs. You're answering everything. And imagine the time that it would take for an individual to answer all these questions if they tried to call in. But here you go, you could actually point them to your PDP at Walmart, keeping that purchase in that ecosystem. And then you're impressing your merchant as well because you're selling more products at Walmart. I mean, it's a full circle. Go ahead, Zan. This is a.
I mean, I was just going to say, you know, let's say I'm a woodworker versus a drywall expert, and I need to know which one of these products is going to help me get my job done faster. I, within 5 seconds, now know which products are going, I either can or can't use. I mean, the matter is Wagner's providing a huge value and time savings to customers to make sure they're getting the right item for the need. So again, every category is very different. You know, whether you're selling ice cream or you're selling a paint sprayer, right? I think there's a need for this to help either build your brand awareness or that in this case, very specific item needs to your shopper. There's just no reason not to help your shopper out, really.
And I tell you, this would be critical. I mean, I'm just talking subjectively, but I look for this stuff all the time. There's been a lot of things I've been researching, but that comparison chart right there with those graphics.
Yep.
I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've even stopped completely from shopping and buying a particular product altogether and gave up because it was so complicated. You know, manufacturers know the names and the item numbers to their products and stuff, but your customer doesn't, and they're in an ocean of information. So if this is all we got time for today, I'm going to go ahead and conclude our webinar. If you have any questions, please reach out at any time. Beyond the things we showed you today about the ease of getting rich media on, the inexpensive cost to it, all that kind of stuff. We're dedicated to Walmart's success here at WhyteSpyder. We have wonderful human beings that work for us. We're all championing this omni-channel effort. We want to be your partner. Even if you throw $5, we want to make it easy for you. We'll keep you updated on what's going on. Anytime you need help, customer success is our lifeblood here at our company. We're all in this together. Thank you for watching. Reach out anytime. Hope we got some value out of this. And until then, keep selling at Walmart. Y'all take care.